All right, welcome back. If you're watching this on playback, this is technically, I guess, part two of me refining a particular setup because I've got a complicated, convoluted setup I'm using here, and really kind of just planning an eventual video. I do this sometimes where I'll just live stream while I'm figuring out how I'm going to want to orchestrate a future video. This one is about obviously having AI uh, teach me how to code. That's not really what's happening. It's more AI's writing code, and I'm kind of learning what I can by watching it all happen and finding out where things are broken and and whatnot. So, if you are not a coder at all, if you have never touched anything like Python or Java or anything like that, this is strictly, obviously, as you can see here, Python. If you've thought about it, looked at it, but never actually touched it, this kind of stuff might work for you. If you know anything about coding and you've been doing it for more than a month, you're going to know more than me. And this won't be anything other than just entertainment, watching some idiot blabber on and learn about things. So feel free to ridicule me in the comments. And I even have a Discord link in the description to a tiny little server with a voice channel if you wanted to join the live stream. I doubt anyone's gonna do that. I'm not even in that room right now. I'm keeping an eye on it though. If someone pops in there, I'll be hugely surprised. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to pick up where we left off, but to begin, obviously you need Python at python.org, and then some kind of editor or something called an IDE, which is like a something environment. Dang it, I need to look that up. I started using Visual Studio Code or VS Code, and that has been working well for me thus far. But there are some other ones out there that have their pros and cons and whatnot. I've recently found this YouTuber, Thuvu, and she has some really great videos that are based on taking all her expertise and saying, okay, if I were going to start over, this is how I would have done it, which I think is a great way to convey information like that. Leads you down a particular path. And she actually, this is amazing, put together this map that walks you through how you would start to learn in these very easy to consume segments. So, basics, and then from the basics, you can move on to these sections here, move at your own pace. I think that's pretty cool. So, and throughout this video, I am going to be using, this is apropos of nothing. I just love this stupid thing. It's a keyboard. It is also a touchpad. And I can zoom in. Look at that. But it's also a keyboard. You can hear that. These are all keys. So let's go ahead and get started. Where did we leave off last time? So this is VS Code, and last time what I was doing was I had made a stopwatch. There it is. I hadn't done anything. Oh, come on, get over here. I hadn't done anything to the stopwatch. This is exactly the code as ChatGPT made it, and then I just ran it. So no customizations, nothing like that. But let's go ahead and take a closer look. What I want to do first, cosmetic. Let's play with cosmetic and see what we can, let's see the canvas size, all the stuff in here. So it structures it, obviously. Now, I haven't seen class before in messing with these. I haven't seen it use the term class, so I should probably You know what? I should have a little notepad or something that sticky notes. Can I use sticky notes? Can you let me use sticky notes? Take a note. This feels like it's going to get complicated. I don't think I want to use sticky notes. Oh, I know what I can use. I think there's something called ID. Nope. It's going to be in Chrome. Sorry, give me a second. I should have prepared for this. Gmail. There it is. Oh, I don't have it loaded because I wiped my computer. Okay, good. It's got Google Keep, I think it's called. Can I break it out? There we go. Alrighty. So we're going to do a new note. These are Python notes and class. What is it? There we go. All right, so what else do we want to... Oh, we can choose font. That's interesting. We have a viewer. Hello, welcome. We are playing with this stopwatch, and we're going to customize it with colors and maybe other functions. I'm not sure yet. I would like the digital readout to be kind of like the Casio watch digital number looking things. Sorry, I got an alert that my stream stopped. Is that real? No one in the comments saying anything. Let me do a test message. Hello, everyone. There we go. Calm down. Okay. So we change the reset button to say start over. Helvetica is the... Oh, that's... Okay, so that's the font for the numbers. Digital... Clock... Number... Fonts. No, I just want the names of them. What would be... Try this. Common digital number fonts. Here we go. Lato? Montserrat? Roboto? Roboto, am I saying that right? No, I'm not, aren't I? Let's try Lotto. L-A-T-O. Okay, so I saved it, and I did not get an alert here that that is a bad font, or that's a font that it's not familiar with. So let's go ahead and close that and run it. See what happens. That didn't do anything. That is still the same number. Let's try that. Whoa. What used to be here? Trusher horse. What's up? Okay, we're going with Montserrat. Did not change the font again. Weird. All right. Tusher. You said, yeah. Yeah, man. All right. One thing that I prefer to have ChatGPT do when it makes this is give me a specified custom like color palette section of the code. As an example, you can look here at the top of this one, GUI color scheme, and it gives you all of this. And you can literally just hover over it and choose your color for button text color or highlight color. So that's what I'm going to have it do. So we'll go back to our ongoing project. Where was it? Stopwatch. Here we go. Okay. Add a lap timer button. No. Make a clock face color customizable. Yes. Okay. So, yes, let's make the clock face and other GUI elements color customizable. Please add a GUI color scheme area in the code for editing that. Let's see, what else did we want to add? Well, that's it for now. Let's go one change at a time. And then rewrite the whole code for me. Call it stopwatch version 1.1. So it didn't see there at the top there the imports. So it didn't require any new imports, which is good. There's the GUI color scheme editable area. So we're just going to go ahead and copy that. Head back to VS Code. Do stop v2 dot py. There we go. Drop in our code, save, and go. Didn't work because this here is wrong. What is it? Reset BU? Is that right? Nice to meet you too, Tusher. Yeah, something got wrong. Something went horribly wrong. Let's try copying that again. There we go. Okay, there's our stopwatch. Kind of want to add milliseconds. Seems like a reasonable thing to include in there, but we'll stop that, reset. Maybe have it animate a rewind, like anytime you hit reset, it just rewinds itself counterclockwise back to 0. Maybe. Let's take a look at the available color customizations that we got with this. Oh, look at this. I love this. Secondhand color. Let's make it blue because blue's cool. Self-tick color. We'll make those red. The background color. Let's do like gray. And then text color, black, that's fine. Button BG, button FG, button active BG. See, I imagine that's a start, stop, and reset buttons, and that's what it named it. All right, let's go find. Go away. I don't need you. I really don't need the keyboard. Stop. Need the touch keyboard? Go to settings and choose when touch keyboard appears. Yeah, let's. When is that? No, I don't need any. I don't need the touch keyboard. I don't know. Holy crap, this never happens. Sorry. I don't know why this is happening. Small traditional gamepad. I don't, go away. Okay. There we go. Start, stop, reset. So, yep, I was right. So, see here, command self reset is. All right. Button BG right there. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, go away. So, active BG. Active BG. Wait, nope. They're all active BG. Button frame, self start. Okay. Oops. Delete that. There you go. Let's go back to the top here. So button BG. Button FG. Then what is button FG? Is black. There we go. Reset. No, that's BG. Let's figure out what a black button looks like here. Invalid color name. Really? I chose an invalid color name. So you can't see it down. F0, F0, F07A. This gray is an invalid color name. That's really weird. So Python doesn't know that color? That's awkward. Let's go with that. Oh, wow. It really doesn't like that color at all. All right. So we're just going to go with 6 Fs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's too many Fs. Run that. Now, it's the same. Is it still too many Fs? All right, we're just going to copy this whole section here. I don't think this is anything actually wrong, I think. There you go. Okay. So we successfully changed the color of the second hand. Cool. I don't see any black buttons. Isn't that weird? Button FG. Huh. Is that the button font? Maybe that's what that is. Tusher asks, or says, suggests, disable it in settings, maybe. Yeah. I just don't want you guys to have to sit through me trying to figure out. I've been using this laptop for days doing this touch stuff, and that keyboard popping up is completely new. So I'll figure it out later. Okay, so we think that that black is the font. Question is, why did I chose a color that was available to me here. Okay, there we go. So when I change background to gray, that's the part of the background that is that color. So then clock background is separate. That's this color here. So if I wanted the whole thing to be uniformly gray, I'd change them both to the same color. All right, that makes sense. All right. Any suggestions on other customizations to the stopwatch? Let me know. I thought I changed the reset name to something else. There we go. Start over. Interesting. Just making that a 2-word button broke it. Maybe that? Or is it too big? Too many letters for that button? I can't cram it in there? What happens if we make it wider? There's a problem. Here in the problem section. Let's take a look at what that problem could be. No, don't care about that. That's the wrong project. So we'll close that. Close that. Don't. Here we go. Redefining name root from outer scope. This happens on almost everything ChatGPT writes for me. I'm not sure what it means. But it doesn't imply that this is a problem. Just won't run it. Close it. Open it again. Oh, because we already have it open. That was dumb. There we go. You can't have more than one window open. So there we go. Start over. And it made the button a little wider. Who knew? So the next thing I gotta consider or think ahead to it in terms of the video that I want to make for this is exporting it to a .exe file. which is something I did recently. It worked okay. There we go. There's a key instruction in here. There's also something you got to consider. You can customize this little icon right here. And the way you do it is finding whatever logo you want to use and then converting it into a .ico, which is an icon file, and then pairing it with this Python project file, but they're separate files. There's apparently a way to package them together, but I didn't bother trying to figure that out, and I'm not sure if I want to cover that in my video about this. If you're just joining us, we are messing around with ChatGPT, writing Python code, and then playing with the results. Currently, we have a stopwatch that we made, and we've been futzing with the code to see what changes we can make. And by extension, hopefully learning a little bit about how the code works. So yeah, let's go back to the concept of exporting. Start at the top of this conversation. All right, so first thing you have to do is, which I've already done, pip install PyInstaller, and that's something you do right inside your command prompt. You would literally just go here. Sorry, get rid of that. You would just type in pip. You type this in here, there, and it would automatically download that module and install it with all your other Python modules where you keep Python all in one place. That was something that was actually kind of scary to me early on, was like, where's all this crap saving? I'm typing in something and it just downloads it from somewhere and puts it somewhere on my computer. That's freaky. So it does all get saved. Just you have to know where you've put Python on your computer. So, okay. Get rid of that stuff. So once you've installed PyInstaller, it's literally one of these right here. Here it is. Hidden image, something dynamic. Nope. Here we go. Basic packaging command right there. That's what I was looking for. Type that in, but you have to be, if I'm not mistaken, there we go. You have to, so the difference in your command prompt when you're doing this packaging, turning that into a exe file. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll just make it an exe file. A second. So you have to get the path where that exe file is, and then you put in this script here. Where for like anytime you pip or install a module, you don't need to be in a particular area of your file path. You can be at your main, whatever pops up when you go to command prompt. So there we go. So I need to get the file path to where the stopwatch is, which would be finding it. Oh. Where did we put it? There it is. It's right there. So that's the file path. Huh. CD. I think there's a space that goes in there. This is the correct syntax for freaking command prompt kills me. There we go. All right, so that's the correct location there. Now, phase 2, that, but obviously, ew, that's ugly. That there, but obviously you're changing the your underscore script.py to whatever the name of your py file is. So let's go ahead and copy that. Head back here, paste, and then what we're doing is changing it to the name of the py file, which was literally stop v1. Oh yeah, stop v2. Stop v2 because it was version 2 of the thing, and boom. It's literally going to take that little stopwatch here and make it a .exe file that I could put on my desktop and open a stopwatch anytime I want. So there we go. It is done, and the results are available inside, I believe it's this dist folder here. It puts in, there it is. So now, I don't like that. It opens command prompt every time. That's definitely something that was an issue with this previous one that I did here, is that the command prompt window, anytime I open the app, because I guess that's weird. I don't like that. So this is the .exe version. This is the version that was like run from Python. Oh, why are you starting again? Oh, this is creepy. I can't close it. Why does it keep? Okay. Anyway, I think that's actually something that you have to put in. You have to put in your code, is to tell it to not. Is it in the code itself? Oh, I feel like it was something about running the file but not opening window or opening command prompt. I'm not sure. This is for a network scanner app that I made, or ChatGPT made, and we customized devices connected. It just scans your Wi-Fi or whatever network you're on, pings every IP address on it and gets its information. If you have like Xfinity or some other kind of, is it a Verizon Fios maybe, Comcast, their apps will let you see all the devices on your network. It's the same kind of thing, except your computer's pinging it rather than the router doing it. So not as thorough, I don't think. So I'm going to find out why that is. Why does command prompt? Let's go ahead and ask. Okay. Redirect output to null mono. Okay. Why does command window open when I start my .exe file? Tell me, what is the answer? Oh, without the windowed flag. So it wasn't in the code, it was in the instruction when you compiled it. So I like being a noob. All right. Yeah, find your home keys. There it is. Pine-Installer one file windowed. That's how I missed it. Okay. And then this is the instruction for adding your own icon to it. So that was the name of my icon file. All right. That's the instruction I should have used right there. So windowed keeps it contained. Good to know. So I'll make those notes later. But yeah. All right. Who's still watching? Who's still hanging out with me? I see one of you still there. Say hi in the comments. Let me know I'm not alone. All right. Let's try a new project. We're done with the stopwatch. Let's go. Let's pick a new idea. Oh, YouTube downloader. Someone mentioned that recently. Being able to download YouTube videos. A lot of these apps exist. Like things like stopwatch exist on your computer as is. So there's no real reason for making one other than for fun. But also, I think there is a case to be made for making some of these apps and doing it in a fashion that maybe exports information the way you want it or to a specific area or something like that. Like the YouTube downloader, that's an interesting idea because then you can have it automatically save to a particular folder or something like that. Or maybe multi-save, like on your iCloud or Google Drive or something. Have it send it there. I don't. Yeah, because let's just say, for instance, I've got the that's the old House Party Mark IV. So this is the, oh, you can't see that. Let's fix that. There we go. So this is the app, the network scanning app. So you can see here, it's got a duration. This progress bar is going, live count of how many devices, and then a network map, which I thought was kind of cool. Brings up a map like that. And then export to CSV. So that can be maybe, I mean, I guess a lot of those apps probably have those functions, so maybe it's not that special, but you could customize some of these to suit a very particular need you have. And of course, if you're researching what I'm researching, which is getting eventually to an AI assistant, AI agent, something like that, and you can definitely tailor some of these apps to work really well with your AI assistant or agent that you're making. RT Podcast says hi. Hi. All right. I'm noticing these little crowns next to the commenters now that I haven't seen before. It's like crown number 1, crown number 2. Is it because you're the second person to have commented? Okay. Hi, RT. You okay? Are you just a bot? Reply, man. Let's take a look at RT's channel. RT's podcast channel started in 2020. And that's all we know about it. Interesting photo. Looks like you're wearing some kind of hat for gardening, maybe? I don't know. So let's go ahead and... RT, give me an idea. I was recently learning Python from Bro Code. Bro Code. That sounds very collegiate. Like the Winklevoss twins teaching code. Bro Code learn Python. Popular YouTube channel. Oh, okay. Free programming tutorials. What I was telling people before, this is one that I recommend. Thuvu. She's a computer science professional and has some really interesting ways of conveying information. Chiefly this map here that she made that'll walk you step by step. The idea being basically that if she were to start all over and learn from scratch, this is how she would do it. And then she put this mind map together, starting with the basics, which apparently involves something with Drake there. And then moving on to data types. Whoa, close that. There we go. Oh, that's cool. Okay. How types work in Python. Check data type of a variable. Important. See? Understanding these. Converting variable to a string, to an integer, to a float. I don't even know what that means. Now I got to find out what a float is. So this map, and she provides this map on her YouTube channel, so you can walk yourself through it. So, man, I recently got graduate, but had yet to done any intern. Graduate with what? You graduated with a degree in computer science? Then you are light years ahead of this fool. I'm literally just having ChatGPT write code and then trying to decipher what it means afterwards, and then watching some tutorials. I have no illusions that I'm going to completely understand this or be a coder of any kind in the future. Yeah. So, but give me an idea for a simple little desktop app that we should build for fun and then try to break it and fix it again. If you got any ideas. What we did before you got here was made a stopwatch. There we go. Customized it a bit and then package it into an .exe file so you could put it on your desktop. And then I did it wrong. And then made note of what I did wrong. Nope. That was Python. Let's start a new one here. Get rid of the stupid keyboard. I don't know why that keeps popping up. So, all right, you just graduated with a degree in this stuff, man. What is it that you like? I'm sure while you were in class learning all this stuff, you were getting ideas of like what kind of industry you'd want to get into or career path you'd want to set yourself out on. A to-do list. I love it. Okay. A to-do list. All right. That would be a good opportunity to maybe play with APIs too, because then I could maybe export. Could I send that to-do list to another service that has to-do lists that I use, like perhaps Gmail? So I could just do an export that option. I'd have to understand APIs, which I know what they do. How they do what they do is different. But blockchain, ETH, that's Ethereum, yeah? Okay. I'm just getting around to watching. It's completely unrelated to me trying to teach myself Python, by the way. My girlfriend doesn't believe me, but Mr. Robot. And I'm in like the third season where they're dealing with eCoin and how that's taking over the financial world in that TV show. Also, uh, you weren't, no one asked, but I'm going to tell you anyway. The keyboard I'm using on the computer that's running my Python is the CLVX1 touch keyboard. It's literally regular keys, but also a touchpad where you can zoom, scroll, zoom, everything right here on the keys, and then just start typing again. It's great for like single monitor setups. Once you get multi-monitor, it's really hard to mess around with. It's hard to navigate all, 5 square feet of screen with a little touchpad. Okay, so make me a to-do list app in Python using use a Kinter GUI. We're going to go real simple first, and then we'll just build from there. And make a GUI color scheme editing section of the code. Let's just start and see what it comes up with. Here she is. Well, I think okay, I was kind of worried that the color editing section of the code was going to be longer than the code itself, because I thought, yeah, it's a pretty simple little script there. So let's go ahead and take that. We'll head back over to VS Code. Whoops, nope. Okay. Start a new one. We'll call it to do one. Movie tracker or live caption. It's funny you mentioned that. My girlfriend's a court reporter. She does real-time reporting in a courtroom, but the skills you need for that are almost identical to closed captioning, verbatim, real-time closed captioning. And she does it with the voice, the microphone over the mouth thing in the courtroom. She doesn't do the stenography typing thing. But she'll sit there and watch TV and catch herself in her head doing real-time captions. Which, by the way, if you think that's just repeating what's happening on screen, it's that and more. And honestly, it's much harder than it sounds. Watch TV and try and repeat everything being said on screen. It's nuts. It's not easy. All right, so let's save that. Run the app. Oh, do we have one open already? We got to close? Yeah. So we got to close the stopwatch first. Is it just going to keep opening stopwatches? There we go. There's our to-do list app. Okay. RT. There we go. Let's see. How did it build it? Please enter a task. Oh, that's kind of rude. So I enter a task. To do item number 1. Make this app better. Getting some serious lag off my laptop here. That's weird. The laptop that I'm capturing going into this stream, notice that there was like really long lag there. All right, so then we're going to add that task. And it just gets added to this list. Law database project My Lawyer. God, that would be interesting if like lawyers go like become AI agents eventually. All right, something's going on with this feed from my laptop. I'm gonna reset that stream. See, that's weird. There should be nothing coming through. I unplugged the laptop from the computer. Okay. Ooh, that's a good look. Never be worried when that happens. So now it's just pink. All right. Think I fixed it. There we go. All right. So I've added the task and that's it. There's no, I mean, you can highlight it. Okay. And let's see, let's look in the code here. Highlight color is purple. I like it. It knows my preferences. Good start. List box, foreground color. Oh, so that's BG and FG. Earlier, we were having issue. I was wondering why it was naming things the way it was naming them. Fun fact, for any narco case, it will help you get caught. You and your search history with bot will be sent to narco mail. Fun fact, for any narco case, it will help you get caught. You and your search history with bot will be sent to. I'm not sure exactly what you're referencing. You're saying that if I used AI to help me sell drugs? I don't sell drugs. Are you trying to entrap me? I don't have time to. Okay. Clear tasks. We have a clear task button, right? Clear all, remove selected. Oh, does that mean you can do, did it already build in like a multi-selection button? Let's try. Test. Okay. Okay, so I can't select more than one. Maybe I should make that a thing. Remove selected and clear all. Are you? Oh, that's very nice of it. It built that in without me having to ask either. Cool. No, we're not going to get rid of that. All right, we are going to remove that one. Let's see. Maybe little check boxes next to it to mark it as done. To give each thing a due date. I've learned since I've been doing this is to make one change at a time because ChatGPT gets stupid. If you make a bunch, I made like 3 or 4 massive changes to the network scanner and it broke the whole thing. None of it would work. So let's try check boxes. All right. Great. I would like to add check boxes next to each item on the list. Denote it is complete. That item is complete. Please rewrite full code with that update. Okay. This is version 1.1. See, and it already started doing that. So this is something that I was having an issue with. My project is lawyer bot called Saul. Very funny. I like that. That's a good reference right there. I made it through most of Better Call Saul. And I don't know. I kind of faded away from it. It was interesting seeing his backstory that kind of Easter egg tied into other things. But yeah, just lost me a little bit there. I think it was because I didn't like how he was treating his woman. Yeah, I mean, it's really weird. But I gotta imagine. All right, so when you were doing research for your lawyer bot, are there already companies that have like an AI company that's specifically a bot they've trained on the law that people can go and ask questions? Like, I'm sure law students are using it because knowing all those precedent-setting cases and knowing what law to cite for this kind of crime, like stuff lawyers have to study for the bar exam, could be helpful in learning that, I guess. Also, your name, RT Podcast. Did you have a podcast? Did you start a podcast? And what was it about? RT. Russian television? I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and take this. Oh, sorry. What I was saying earlier. I'm jumping all over the place here. When doing code iterations with ChatGPT, I learned pretty quickly that you need to tell it that each time it gives you a new copy of the code, it'll go sequential once you start naming it. But like say, hey, I'm naming this something V1. It will then start going V1.1, V1.2, and tell it you need it to do that, because otherwise, if you're going back and like if you're trying to ask it questions saying, hey, I like what you did with these variables in version 1.3, because otherwise you can't reference any of these versions once it spits out a few, and it's really hard to do that. So anyway, just a suggestion. So we've taken that. I'm going to go here. We're going to start. You're really going to make me do it here, are you? Okay, fine. To do .py. And I bet you the other one wasn't closed, so the new one can't open. There we go. Close the old one. New one opens up. See, it changed the window a little bit. That's weird. Okay. Our first to-do item, make this app better. Add task. So now we have a checkbox next to it. Nice. My podcast is about roasting other podcasts, but after a few controversy, I forced to stop. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. It's a tough sell logistically because you'd have to listen to other podcasts. Are you like listening to a bunch of podcasts and then doing a summary episode where you're like, you talk about 3 or 4 different shows and then roast them a bit? Or do you listen to one show and then roast that show? That feels very punitive and like it would seem like you have a personal vendetta against any particular show. But doing like a recap podcast where you're recapping other shows. So I have like 3 or 4 that I like to listen to, but I don't have time to listen to all of them. So I listen to the recap one that gives me I could see that being a thing. But it just seems like a big time suck to have to listen to like 8 different shows and then make your own show about those 8 shows. That can take a lot of time. I'm thinking about I'm working on a concept for a movie review podcast with a friend. But even that's going to require a lot of watching movies, and then recording the show. Takes a lot of time. All right, so we have our checklist with the checkbox, which is nice. And obviously we do have the color customization here. The background color, let's go ahead and make that a little lighter, like a light gray. There we go. Checkbox active, task background, and I like the purple highlight color. We'll keep that. Huh. So this is what I'm curious about now. This is the first time. I'm really glad you suggested this, RT, because it's the first time I've made an app where I would expect the app to save information. It's currently just a script I'm running, so every time I close it, anything on my to-do list is gone. But where is it going to save? Okay, this is a good exercise. All right. Let's ask. Once I'm done refining this app and export it as an exe, want it to save the data on the list so I can close that app and reopen it. Does this script include functions for that? Right now in VS Code, every time I close and open the app, it loses the items on the list. You're absolute. I love how like ChatGPT strokes your ego with every question. Oh, that's such a smart question. Yeah, okay. Feels like the waiter or waitress who's being really nice to me, hoping for a good tip, which I found out today doesn't work. You actually get bigger tips if you are indifferent or just even a slightly bit rude. It's like they're trying to win your favor. Statistically, it's true. You need persistent storage. To make your to-do list save automatically, we'll store the tasks and their checkbox status in a file. Load them when the app starts. We'll use a simple JSON file, tasks.json, to store. Okay. Here's what we'll add. Load tasks, save tasks, use try except. All right. Learning something here, a JSON file. So I'll need to import JSON, which I don't think I currently have. This is a good time to talk about pipping. There we go. Pip install JSON. Ooh, could not find a version that satisfies the requirement JSON from versions none. Okay, that's weird, but all right. Usually that requires importing a module. Next, do some simple game paper, rock, scissors, or simple calculator. Paper, rock, scissors I like. I do like the idea of like watching or understanding how randomizers work at the code level. Because I've seen one of the other things that get recommended a lot for simple projects for beginners is a password generator, which would do the same thing, but it would have very specific requirements for how it's generating the password in terms of number of special characters and numbers and letters and all that. Okay. So this is, oh wow, it gave me the whole thing again. ChatGPT learning my thing. To state, loads the file automatically, updates the file when adding, removing, clearing. Once your package is using something like PyInstaller, make sure it has write access to save tasks. Ooh, okay, that's fair. That's good information to have. Ooh, such a good suggestion, RT. Thank you so much for hanging out and giving me this suggestion. Encrypt or hide the tasks. I don't think I want to encrypt or hide that, but knowing that we could encrypt or hide this JSON file, it's good to know. Store it in a different to task editing. Command with proper icons. Nope, not yet. There's way more I want to do with the task thing before that. What I'm not sure is, do I have to make the JSON file first? Is it expecting me to create the file somewhere, or is it going to create it? Let's find out. All right. Moving on to version 3. Oh, okay. It won't let me name it. I want to rename this file. Reopen. I was here. Now I want to be here. Nope, it is not letting me reopen it. or rename it, which is weird. Whoa. Yeah. Thank you. This is my whole point. This is going to be to do dot or number 3 with the save JSON feature. Boom. Okay. Close the old one. Run the new one. As always, make this app better is our task. Okay, man, I need to leave now. I appreciate your recent videos and hope you get more views. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping by and hanging out and asking questions and telling me about your awesome life. Okay. So we can see here, load tasks, save tasks, clear task. Okay. Destroy. Look at that. I've seen stuff in the news recently about people having their AI like deleting entire databases and then asking what happened. I don't know if it's real or not, but I saw someone like screenshot a conversation with their agent, AI agent, and I was like, where did this database go, or what, what's going on here? He's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I deleted a database that you explicitly told me not to delete anything. It's like how it's like behaving like a child in its actions, but then reacting verbally like an adult who's just, got a lot of character. I'm so sorry, I made a mistake. Just weird. Okay, so we have this on there. So it should just automatically live. It should save tasks all the time. And data file W, data file R. What does this mean? Why is that R and W? Oh, is it read and write? It is. It's read and write. W and R. I'm a thinker. Hey, boo boo. Okay, so we'll close this. Boom. It's saved. Now, where is this JSON file? Show me. Huh. Where is it? It's not here. In the same directory that they're all built. Build? No. That's my folder that I made. I don't know why that's a spec file and everything else is a Python file. What does that mean? Oh, it's because once you package it into an exe and export it, it creates a spec file? Huh. Okay. All right. Chat GPT, where did you save this? Save tasks. 4 tasks, append task, text, done. Dat file. OS path, if OS path exists. Sure, okay, but where? JSON dot. Where are you saving it? I feel like how. This is fun. Literally search like my computer for JSON files. Oh, you know where you oh, there it is. Tasks. JSON source file. Right there. Huh. Okay. I don't know why you chose there.
but that works. Interesting. All right, so that's where that's stored now. So I guess if I export this to a .exe, this first time I ever open it, it's going to create one of these JSON files somewhere, and that's where it'll keep the tab. But I'll have to know where it is. This is what scares me about a lot of this, is like, where are you putting information on my computer? Not that I just want to know. I don't know. I like to keep a tidy file structure system thing. But it's interesting that it chose there. So, okay. Very cool. Where's the to-do list? All right, so here's our to-do list. What colors do we want to... and in honor of RT, since he's the one who came up with the name for this, let's change the name of it. To-do list app. We're going to call it R. To do. Font. Wait. Font, tuple, literal, segio. Did it designate what font was going to be early on? It did. It did. Right there. So this is something I got to figure out, what the available fonts are that I could type in there. Let's ask. Okay, what line was that? That was line 17. Line 17, you wrote... how do I know what fonts I can put there? There a list of Python compatible fonts? Did I misspell compatible? Yeah, because I'm an adult. Great question. How fonts work in... Oh, this is in Tkinter. Tkinter? Am I saying that? Oh, look at this. Common fonts that work well with most systems. Cool. Windows friendly. Tahoma. All right. Let's try Tahoma. So we'll replace Segio with Tahoma. We will close the current iteration of the to-do list. Save and run. And now we have a new... I really can't tell the difference in the font, but I feel like it's actually more legible. But it is the our to-do list in honor of RT. Okay. So if we want to export this, we just have to remember the key element, which is windowed. when you're doing your Pi installer export to exe, you need to include the windowed command, which will prevent it from opening up a command prompt window. So there we go. Feel like good stopping point. I'm happy with it. Thanks for anyone who tuned in, and RT for hanging out and chatting for a little while. We will see you on the next one. I don't have a end screen, so I'm just going to use the start screen again. Bye.